Oh boy, so here we are, a very controversial topic to discuss. You've probably heard about saturated fat.
Little gasoline, blowtorch, no problem.
So let's get right into it. What is saturated fat? Where does the controversy come from? Is saturated fat bad for you? And how does it fit into the whole picture? To start with, saturated fat is the kind of fat that needs a high temperature to melt. Think about your butter or your coconut oil. But you can also find it in animal products, like full-fat dairy, like a full-fat cheese. And you can also find it in full-fat meat. And do not forget, you also find a lot of saturated fat in pastries, cookies and snacks. And what I mean by snacks is deep fried snacks, like our Dutch croquettes and frikandel sausages. In 1958, Professor Ansel Keys did a 7-country study about the dietary patterns and the prevalence of coronary heart disease. He made the foundation of the general view of saturated fat and was a huge political influence in the United States. The government implemented these findings into a policy that stated that all fat intake should be lowered drastically. They did this by replacing the saturated fat with unsaturated fat, or by replacing the fat with sugar. This is where the controversy starts. In the following decennia there were critics about this policy. Arguably, 1. That not all fats were bad, 2. That unsaturated fats could be harmful as well, and 3. That replacing fat with sugar was not beneficial either. History has shown that the movement was correct about a couple of things. But let me be clear, not everything. They were correct about the following 3 points. The first point, we know by now that we need healthy essential fats in our diet, the omega-3s. You can find them in fish, nuts, avocado and olive oil. The second point, it turned out that one specific unsaturated fat was more harmful than the saturated fat. Trans fats. Thirdly, replacing the fat with sugar to make them more tasty just meant replacing energy with energy. And eating lots of unsaturated fat is still frankly 9 calories per gram. And let's be honest, calories in, calories out.
In this house we obey the laws of thermodynamics!
Does that mean that the whole story was a fad and that we can eat as much saturated fat as we want? Well, I do know a lot of people would love that story because they have a scapegoat to point against. But the truth is, the science hasn't stopped after that one specific research. They have studied it over and over again and they came to the same conclusion. Too much saturated fat is not good for you. I have a blog and research papers that can explain this way better than I can in a couple of minutes. You can find it in the description. In isolation, if you would have me who only eats 10% of its calories from saturated fat, which is the threshold in which they show no negative results from 10% and lower, and you would clone me, and the only thing you would change is eating 20% from my calories with saturated fat, then that second person will have an increased chance of coronary heart disease. And let me be clear, this is about chances. This is about rolling a die and hitting the number to get it. There are exceptions to this. There are people who eat a lot of saturated fat but don't die from coronary heart disease. And the opposite is also true. There are people who don't eat a lot of saturated fat but will still die from coronary heart disease. This is all about chance. So does that mean that the saturated fat is the end-all be-all for coronary heart disease? Well, no. To give you the whole picture, I will name a list referenced from our nutrient advising platform here in the Netherlands that names everything that influences coronary heart disease. Link in the description. The following things increase the chance for coronary heart disease, and they are eating too much saturated fat, eating trans fats, drinking too much alcohol, smoking, being sedentary all the time, and being overweight. The following things lower the chance of getting coronary heart disease, and they are eating vegetables, eating fruits, eating whole grains, the total amount of fiber you get each day, eating nuts and seeds, eating fish, getting the fish fatty acids EPA plus DHA, drinking filtered coffee, moving at least 2.5 hours each week, like walking, biking, vacuum cleaning, gardening, you name it, not smoking or stopping to smoke, only drinking 1 glass of alcohol each day or not drinking at all, being on a healthy weight, and replacing saturated fat with unsaturated fat. Do you see that by zooming out, it's not only a matter of the type of fat you eat, it's about your whole lifestyle. Instead of hyper-focusing on one single thing, I think it would be way healthier if we would look at the bigger picture. Look besides the type of fat you eat, what else you can do to improve your health.
It's a healthy mix.
So I hope this video has clarified your view on saturated fat. And let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with this. And subscribe to this YouTube channel for future videos about health. I thank you for listening and I'll see you on the next video.